Welcome to the SmartKeys podcast.
It's great to be here.
Today, we are really going to look under the hood of the modern B2B revenue engine. We're not talking about sales tactics or, how to write a clever email.
No, we're looking at the digital infrastructure, the plumbing, really, the stuff that decides whether a company scales or just collapses.
It's the difference between running a business on hope and running it on engineering, right? We're focusing on the 2026 landscape of revenue operations or RevOps.
Exactly. And to do that, we are diving into a really thorough piece by Felix Römer.
That's right. It's called Best RevOps Automation Tools for Scaling B2B Revenue. And I have to say, the message is pretty blunt. If your 2025 goals are still running on spreadsheets and gut feelings, you are already behind.
It sounds harsh, but he makes a compelling case. The core problem he points out right away is what he calls the busy work crisis. You go out and hire these incredibly smart, expensive people for your sales and marketing teams, and then they spend half their week just cleaning up data. They're fighting with disconnected systems instead of actually talking to customers.
It's a total paradox, isn't it? We have more tools than ever, but somehow less time. Romer's whole argument is that the next big leap isn't about working harder.
No, it's about aligning these systems so all that admin junk becomes automated insight.
Moving from a static CRM, a system of record, to something that actually does
A
things.
system of action.
Okay, so let's start with what feels like the most futuristic part of this. Romer talks about the digital worker, and just to be clear, this is not a website chatbot. He uses a specific platform as an example, 11x.
Yeah, this is totally a different category.
Yeah.
We used to have RPA, robotic process automation, which was basically just a script to move data around.
Right.
11x is different. It's an AI that acts like a new employee. It has agency.
So you're saying the tool is the worker, not just something that helps the worker.
For certain jobs, yes. Take a sales development rep, an SDR. A huge part of that role is tedious, right? Finding emails, enriching contact info, sending the first email, logging it all in the CRM.
The grunt.
11x can do that entire sequence. It finds the prospect, drafts, and sends the outreach, and updates Salesforce, all of it.
The implications of that are huge. You're basically hiring a bot that doesn't get tired and doesn't mind rejection.
And it frees up your human team to do what they're actually good at, building relationships, closing deals. But, that creates the next problem. Even if you have bots filling the funnel, how do you know which of those deals are actually real?
Forecasting. The nightmare of every sales leader.
And happy years problem, right? A rep has a nice lunch, comes back and says, oh, it's a lock, 90%. But the data tells a completely different story. This is where Römer brings in a tool called Clari.
I've heard of Clari, but framing it this way, it's really about deal health, isn't it? It's not just taking the rep's word for it.
Not at all. It's analyzing the digital exhaust. Are they actually opening your proposals? Did they push back the meeting 3 times? Is your main contact suddenly looping in their legal team?
So it's like a lie detector for your pipeline.
That's a great way to put it. It takes the emotion and the guesswork out of it. Your weekly pipeline review stops being, so how do you feel about this one?
And becomes, Clari says engagement dropped 40%. What's our plan to fix it?
Exactly. But if you need to go even deeper, there's another tool he mentions, Insight Squared.
This one felt like it was for the real data scientists in the room.
It kind of is. If Clari is the daily weather forecast, Insight Squared is the long-term climate model. It has, 350 dashboards ready to go.
Wow.
It's for deep analysis. You can see where deals are falling out of the funnel, by rep, by region. You can find the exact leak.
But there's a huge catch, and Römer really hammers this point. None of these fancy forecasting tools work if the data going in is garbage.
The old GI Go. Garbage in, garbage out.
Which brings us to a tool called WeFlow.
Pipeline hygiene. Not the most exciting term. No, but it's so critical. The problem has always been that CRMs, they can be clunky. Reps hate having to log in and update 10 different fields after a call.
So WeFlow just makes that easier.
It meets them where they work. It's a Chrome extension or a Slack pop-up that prompts them right after a meeting. Update next steps, change the close date, and it writes it back to Salesforce for them.
So it makes compliance easy.
It makes the right thing the easy thing to do. It's the gatekeeper that keeps the data clean for Clari.
Okay, so we have bots finding leads, WeFlow keeping the data clean, and Clari predicting the outcome. But what about the quality of the actual human conversations? The game tape, if you will.
Right, and that's where Gong comes in. By now, conversation intelligence is pretty standard, but Gong is still the one everyone looks to.
I think a lot of people still misunderstand it, though. They just think, oh, it records my Zoom calls.
That's the most boring part of what it does. The magic of Gong is that it turns the content of the call into data. It tracks talk-to-listen ratios. It can tell you, for instance, that every time your team mentions a certain competitor, your win rate plummets.
So you can use that for coaching. Instead of just saying, be more energetic, a manager can say, the data shows that when you talk pricing in the first 15 minutes, we lose. Let's change that.
It moves coaching from an art to a science. You're coaching on patterns that actually correlate to revenue.
Okay, let's back up a bit. Before we're even on a call, we have to find the right companies to talk to in the first place. The article shifts here into what it calls the sniper approach.
This is a huge move away from the old spray and pray method. Don't call everyone. Call the people who are already thinking about buying. That's the world of ABM and intent data.
Römer points to 6 cents here, and he notes it's a big investment, starting around $30,000 a year.
It is, but what it promises is the ability to see the dark funnel.
The dark funnel, I like that.
It's all the research a buyer does before they ever fill out a form on your website. They're reading reviews, checking out your competitors, looking at your pricing page. 6 cents can see that anonymous activity.
And it tells you that a certain account is in market before they ever raise their hand.
Exactly. It gives them a score. So your sales team knows to reach out now because they're already in that decision phase. You're meeting them at the moment of intent.
And he also mentions demand base in this context.
Yeah, they're in a similar space. Demand base is really strong on unifying the whole brand committee. In B2B sales, you're not selling to one person. You're selling to a whole team.
Right.
Demand base helps make sure your message is reaching the CFO, the head of IT, and the end user, not just one of them.
But none of this works if you can't actually get a hold of a person. Which brings us back to data quality and a tool called Cognism.
This one is just so practical. You can have the best intent signal in the world, but if your CRM just has a generic info at email address, it's useless, especially now.
The office phone number is dead.
Completely. Cognism is all about verified mobile numbers. They're diamond data. It's about actually connecting with a human. Sometimes it really is that simple.
So we have our target from 6 cents. We have the cell number from Cognism. Now we actually have to run the outreach. The article kind of sets up a head-to-head here. SalesLoft versus outreach.
The Coke and Pepsi of sales engagement. And he draws a really good distinction. Both of them automate your outreach sequences, the emails, the call reminders, all that.
Yeah.
But he suggests SalesLoft is often a better fit if your focus is on coaching and the seller's performance. It has great analytics for that.
Okay.
Outreach, on the other hand, is just a beast for massive enterprise-scale operations. It's super programmable. If you have thousands of reps and complex rules, it's probably the choice.
But either way, the point is standardized execution and speed.
And speed is a perfect lead-in to the next category, which most people forget about, routing.
I was surprised how much he focused on this. He mentions lean data and another one, default.
Think about speed to lead. A hot prospect fills out a demo request on your site. If that lead just sits in a queue for a day while someone figures out whose territory it's in,
You've lost them. They've already talked to 2 of your competitors.
gone. Lean data manages those complex routing rules inside Salesforce. But default is interesting because it combines routing with scheduling right on your website.
So it qualifies them and books the meeting with the right rep instantly.
Instantly. The buyer gets what they want right now. It's all about removing friction from the process.
We've just built a pretty complex stack of tools here, 11x, Clari, Gong, 6 cents. But there's a huge risk, right? We're just creating a dozen new silos of data.
The Frankenstack. It's a real problem. RevOps teams can spend all their time just trying to make their tools talk to each other.
This is where Römer introduces the solvers, the tools that stitch it all together. He starts with Clari.
Clari is different because it's not a simple point-to-point connection. It acts as a central source of truth for all your systems.
It governs the data.
It harmonizes it. Says, okay, Salesforce says one thing, your billing system says another. The billing system wins. And it updates everywhere else automatically. It prevents data conflicts without needing a developer.
But what about the people who live and breathe spreadsheets?
For them, he mentions coefficient. Look, a lot of ops people just want to get the raw data into Google Sheets so they can build a pivot table.
Guilty.
Coefficient creates a live link between your CRM and Google Sheets. It's a cloud pivot table. Your analysis in Sheets updates automatically as the source data changes. For $60 a month, it's a game changer.
And for the really heavy-duty industrial strength cleanup.
That's HubSpot Operations Hub. If you're in a HubSpot world, it's a superpower. It lets you write your own code, Python or JavaScript, right into your workflows.
To do what?
To automate data cleansing. You can build a little robot that runs every night and, say, properly formats all the phone numbers and capitalizes every last name. The kind of stuff that ensures your database is actually trustworthy.
It all comes back to clean data, doesn't it?
It always does.
There's one last part of the customer journey we haven't hit. The deal is closed. Now what? The handoff from sales to customer success, which, as he points out, is often a total mess.
It's where so many great deals start to go bad. The customer feels like they've been dropped. Radio silence. This is where churn starts.
And the tool he suggests here is called Doc.
Doc's goal is to kill the messy email chain. Instead of sending 5 different emails with contracts, slide decks, and setup guides, you create one shared space, a digital sales room.
So the customer has one place to go for everything, a mutual action plan.
Exactly. It makes the handoff from sales to success totally seamless. The customer sees value faster, which is the best way to make sure they stick around.
And very briefly, for the people designing this whole system, he mentions fullcast.io for capacity planning.
Right. That's for answering the big questions. How many reps do we need to hire to hit our number? How do we divide up territories fairly? It connects that strategic plan directly to your live CRM data.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. This is an amazing list of tools, but I can see a listener thinking this is just a shopping list that's going to cost a fortune.
And that's the trap.
Yeah.
You can't just buy all 10 of these tools and expect magic to happen.
So what's the real strategy here? How do you actually apply these insights?
You have to find your single biggest bottleneck first.
The theory of constraints.
That's it. Look at your revenue process.
Mm-hmm.
Is your problem that you don't have enough leads? Maybe you need to look at 6 Sense.
Okay.
Is your problem that you have plenty of leads, but they get stuck and your reps are inefficient? Then you look at SalesLoft or Land Data. Or is the problem that you have no idea which deals will actually close?
Then you need Clari and Gong.
Don't buy a tool for a problem you don't have. Start with your biggest point of pain. Pilot one solution. Prove that it works.
You have to earn the right to use the more advanced tools.
That's a perfect way to put it. The goal isn't the biggest tech stack. It's a predictable engine.
As we wrap this up, I think the big idea here is that we're moving from people supported by tools to something different.
It's more like tools supported by people. The CRM is becoming a thinking operating system. Every single interaction, every email, every click has to feed a model that helps you see the future.
And if your plan for next year still depends on a sales rep remembering to type in their meeting notes,
You're building a skyscraper on a swamp. You have to fix the foundation first.
thank you for tuning in to the SmartKeys podcast. We hope this deep dive gave you a better blueprint for building your revenue engine.
My pleasure.
If you found this useful, please subscribe for more conversations about the future of work. And seriously, do yourself a favor and click the link in the show notes. Read Felix Römer's full article on smartkeys.org. The level of detail is fantastic. Until next time.